Livius? Oh, what? There we go. All right. All right. Good. Thought it was going live for a second. All right. Now I did the rocks over here, at least as far as the base goes. I might add a little more texture to them. Just get, they are foreground items, so we don't want them to be thinner than the water. That wouldn't make much sense, now would it? Let's just put a little more pop in there. And we'll hit this side. It's a little darker color. Get it, I'm not going to make them as smooth either, just give them some chunk. I was on the website. It's kind of a newer website. Literally, I got an email like they were opening, as they called it. It's called Grandpa, and basically the idea is they refer to it as a Tinder for artists looking for money. And so I was taking a look on there just to see what I'd be eligible for, and I had to crack up laughing because most of it I'm not. Whatever they were, the requirements for, like sometimes is of, certain descents or whatever, or like the one on there was like the National Endowment of the Arts, which sounds great, except for it's for 2019, and the National Endowment of the Arts has on their site, there's a good chance we're not going to have funding for 2019. So, not so great. So I was just, looking around what I could do, and I just kept, show me more. And I got down towards the bottom, and there's one that's not quite open yet, but basically it's it made me laugh because it's a callback literally to last night's conversations of me and Insano san were talking about going to Japan, and it's basically a U.S. Japanese like artist exchange. It seemed like if I understood it properly. So it's the way I understood it, they'd send somebody here, I'd go over there, and then they, some money attached to it as well. And I was like, ooh. So I said to my wife, you want to move to Japan for a couple months? She's like, to do what? I was like, for me to paint. She's like, that's great. You'd be employed. The house would sit barren, and, none of us speak Japanese. I've been trying to learn it, but I've been really bad in my lessons for like the past few years. Once everything started sliding, should be talking that far away. Once everything started sliding mentally, trying to learn new skills is one of the things that really doesn't stick. So it was. I was like, come on, we'll go live in Kyoto, and it'd be nice. As I said, a lot of the artists that they've chosen for this in the past, they can stay in Tokyo, and a lot of them too, because I want to be in the more modern area, but I want to go to, like, old Japan. But that means I'd have to really know Japanese, because they don't speak it there. I could get away with maybe my phone working, but the grant wasn't really officially live yet, so I have a little time to work on her. Let's see. And she wouldn't accept me just going on my own. I'm like, look, it's perfect. It's enough money that it would be like, I tell Siemens to kiss my ass. It'd pay me enough to hypothetically live there. I don't know. At least for the time being, where we wouldn't really have like a loss of income per se. saw another grant. I'm not sure if I'm eligible for it or not. All right, I'm gonna apologize right now for the noise. Because I know it should be a little bit quieter because nobody's driving on this back driveway yet. But I gotta open up the window here. It's 90 degrees, so I'm dying already. Oh, the window's not down. Oh, and if you didn't see, I have a very fashionable thing. I'll show it again. My button broke right before I turned on, so I made myself a nice little hobo belt out of some Ethernet cable I had lying around. Very interesting, huh? Very fun. I wonder how long it's going to take till my neighbors think I've absolutely cracked. So they hear me talking to myself in here. And now I come to the debate, though. Now the button popped. Do I bother wasting the time to fix my painting pants and my painting shorts, basically? Which were a pair of pants I just sliced the hell up with. Or do I slice up another pair of pants? I was thinking about the order all day today, because I'm not happy with this. It's just so much. I mean, I like a lot, but this is... You can tell I was fighting with this, and I've been arguing with it the whole time. So I was screwing around on... damn it, it's blurry, isn't it? This thing got out of focus again. Yeah, it did. Where was I? Nobody's listening. It doesn't matter. But I actually opened it up in Paint. I mean, it's like Microsoft Paint. It's not an ideal place to do it, but I was trying to screw around, and I'm coming up with some plans. That I think will work. I'm like 95% sure it'll work. Let's see how these look. There's like a bunch here, so it's like actually a couple of them. Bunch of chunky stuff. There's so much in this world to make me bleed. Stay with me. Actually, you know what? I might have short shifted this rocky area. I might actually need more water, like right here. So my whole thing about rethinking this is actually pretty good. Take on Did I say that I need you? Did I say that I want you? Oh, if I didn't, I'm a fool, you see. No one knows this more than me. So I come clean on home. Alrighty. I did have a pretty good day today. Our phones went to shit, so we had no phone calls at all today, so that helped get through the day. I ended up staying up much later than I expected. After I hung up out of here, I had trouble sleeping, so I don't think I got to bed till after midnight. So I was expecting a full shit day, and then I actually had a, like I said, pretty quiet day at work. I have to laugh now. They've installed like customer service chat so that customers can chat us now online, without actually having to call us, which sounds like a great idea. I prefer to talk when I do customer service with people that I don't want to talk to them. Like if I have to call somebody, they're in trouble already. Because this job has made me hate phones. Period. Like I just hate talking to the people on the phone. I don't ever want to do it. I will do anything to avoid it. And so I on a surface level, I should be thrilled with this. But the problem I have with it is the people I talk to on a daily basis, in many ways, seem to be confused by like their own shoelaces. So when they're being asked to participate at this, more advanced quote unquote way to get a hold of Siemens customer service, it's like it's not working so hot. They were told they should be using it for very specific things, and they're already violating that concept. Customer that submitted it today to me, they had already had a case, and they were trying to start another one on the same exact issue, and that's not what we do, because it ends up being that I start talking to the plant, the person already had the case starts talking to the plant starts getting confused as to who they told what to, and they start yelling at us about how we're making it worse. I had to think what this was. Okay. Maybe it won't be that quiet. Do you guys hear the motorcycle? The apocalypse. Whoa, waking up. Guess that's where I'm picking up the paint from. Ready to rock this. Lucian, I suppose. Radioactive, radioactive, all systems go. Sun has died deep in my bones. Straight. I feel like they're repeating this playlist from last night. Not 100% sure. But like I was saying, it was. I thought it was going to be a shitty day, and I thought it was going to affect me here. But then it ended up being rather calm, quiet. And then I came home, and I decided to do my Rocket League practice on my PS4 rather than the PC account. And it's astonishing the difference in how I play. I don't know why that is. I don't know if it's just people that are on Steam are just that much better. I mean, I lost tonight, but they were always, not all of them. But the ones I did lose were like one goal games, like overtime, so stuff I was like I was okay with, mentally. It's like we played well. Basically boiled down to which team got tired first, I'm okay with those games. As long as it's only one every now and then. They become like every time, it becomes a little bit frustrating. I mean, frustration don't do well together. I think maybe it's better if I kind of make it more. Yeah, it's better. We got these chunkiness, like. As I said, I was playing around with it today. I'll play with it again tomorrow. Keep going and try to find something I'm really committed to for this down here. Probably should have done it much earlier, but I thought I had an idea. Anyway, lose my train of thought here. Hopefully, get something that balances this out. I think I know what I'm gonna do. In here, we add some of the colors over here. Should be able to give it some. Yeah. Just add a little couple highlights here and a couple places. Giving it that feel of there's a very good chance that these rocks are the exact same ones that they. And I'm actually gonna give some variety in there too. Let's get some of the little ones, maybe, just so it's not like too wildly noticeable. So I get this idea that maybe these are also where they grabbed these ones from the bridges. Yeah. Just a touch here and a touch there would be enough to throw. So just dark blue. We'll throw in some of that cobalt violet hue. And take the fresh ultramarine back in, because I'll deepen that up. And one of the things that we've been waiting for to find out at my building, now I think I've said before that they're not able to really run the heat there, because to run the heat so that it's effective becomes too loud for us on the phones. So we've been waiting to find out how they could do it with the air conditioner. Now I can't be 100% sure they actually were running it today. It was cooler than 90 degrees, so that's all I can really work with. But then again, they may have just been running it a little bit as this cold air drops. Yeah, it's likely that it's going to be more effective even under a mild running than, say, heat, which they have to like blast, because they took out all the drop ceiling stuff to keep it in, so now they have a bare bones exposed roof. They'll freeze our asses off usually. I'll take a little bit of magenta, a little titanium white, and I want to get back into this thing here. Like I said, I want to make a few of these where you see this lighter color. But just maybe this is where they grab their rocks from, They got their rocks off down here. Different hear my wife's eyes roll at that one? I think they did. I bet they did. Let's see, a little more cobalt blue. Just for like highlights and stuff down here. Or I should say shadows. Changes in these tones. Make them look a little darker. Get them a little. Because I'm getting the sense that maybe these are where they popped them out of, so they can look a little different. They can have some oomph and some And mind you, there's going to be like this overhang from these trees and stuff. So there's going to be a lot of others, so to speak. Yeah, we're going to throw a few over here too, just to be a little different. And we go back here. What this sucker? Yeah, I'm not even going to do it all the way. I'm going to give him a little touch. A little how's your daddy? Yeah, just maybe blend it in, but just give it a little scrape off. There we go. Yeah, it's like a little, how's your father? He's fine, Mr. Mailman. What are you doing here today? Is it common for you guys to come into the house? And that's how I was fired from the post office. I'm just kidding. I worked for the post office. I could say all the crazy shit before anybody's here. There's nobody here right now. A few more magentas, something like that. Another magenta rock. Right here. I went to bed last night though. After I got done here, I went to go clean up, and I thought I did a damn good job cleaning myself up. And I was really, really wrong. I woke up this morning and I had a huge streak of Viridian green like up here on my arms. There's still a little bit there. So God only knows if my sheets are Technicolor at this point. And then, so I washed that off after I get, because it stayed there even after the shower. So I missed it then too. And then, try to get it like that. So then I did okay, I got the shower done. Oh shit, they're still Viridian, on me. Okay. Oh look, there's some more, that light yellow we used. Oh look, that's on me too. Okay, all right, we'll get that rid of. Yeah, and I was like, oh wait, there's some more. And I just kept finding it all day. I still have some on me, so we'll see. Papa don't take no mess. Kind of funny as I'm describing a mess. Papa don't take no mess. Papa don't take no mess. Papa is the man who will understand what man have to do. Whatever he can, hit me. Papa don't take no mess. Take a nice gin. That is last 10. Or a little game of skin. This song has a nasty habit of popping up sometimes when I don't want it to. Not that I don't like listen to it, but like I accidentally triggered it on. I've been listening to it in the car ride on my way over to the Chester County Art Association gallery, and I'm sitting there. I'm filling out paperwork, to drop off my stuff, and I don't know how the hell it turned on in my pocket. I guess my pocket was thin enough that it felt like it could actually almost feel like my thigh in between there or something. But next thing I start hearing this song popping out from my pants as I'm trying to talk to everybody. I'm like, everybody like James Brown? I hope you do. let me try to turn this off. I'm trying to be a professional artist here, and I'm not doing a very good job of it. Like I always say, professionalism. Go somewhere else for it. You ain't gonna find it here. No mess. Don't take no mess. Don't take no mess. Take no mess. Mixing a little magenta, a little titanium white, and a little cobalt violet. Papa makes a whole lot of fuss. Papa beat the hell out of us. Okay, just to give it some, I might want to even lighten that up some more. But I wanted to have color too, so I'll slap more magenta in there. It's gonna get like a pinkish, purplish tone, you know, like a lace lavender. I mean, we're going to end up having to put some yellow highlights on here, too. I knew it was a lie. But, you know, gives that fluctuation of color, though. Papa's smart. Got a whole lot of heart. Right. Game gets hard. Man, I thought advertising my fashion sense would have gotten somebody from my Facebook page over here. Nothing. A couple. Well, that actually works pretty well. I'm going to try it again. Sometimes I feel like I've been tied to the whipping post. I think I've been figuring out why these hurt. So they've been spinning on me. Like the part that secures it in my ear. It's been moving in unexpected and unwelcome ways. Just a touch. Let's see, I think this is where when I do what if I can figure out exactly what I want to do, like I said, I'm close to what I want to do. I'll separate this a little more, like mental, you know, on a visual side. Because right now I can't really, as we're doing it, make this pop like it should. Sometimes I feel like I've been tied to the whipping post. Tied to the whipping post. Good Lord, I feel like I'm dying. Stuck. It's too hot. before anybody says, "Oh, you bitched about the cold all winter." You know what, dude? It's one thing to be like, okay, it's fucking freezing. It was freezing into April. We never got a goddamn spring. I feel fully justified in bitching about the heat. It's supposed to be relatively nice this weekend, though, I think. Like, it's going to rain, but I think temperature-wise should be decent. Take a look at this. See if we can get some out of that. This even show plainly. I always, I mean, like I said, I hope to get something. Looks like it's fuzzy again. I'm telling you, man, I get the camera I want. It's gonna be nice if I ever get that. That's all I got to say about that. It'll look really nice. And you guys are like, he's got the best streams. And you're, no, nobody will say that. But dancing very slow, barely breathing, almost comatose. I can't do that pop like she can. I'm just want to back. Hour shopping. Oh. Sixers are on tonight, huh? Alright. Sixers are doing pretty good. Hopefully. First game of the series was a bust, but not a basketball fan, but I am a fan of the city. Almost time to go upstairs to get the kitties to bed. And I think when we come back down from there, it'll be into the grassy areas just to get stuff in here. I really want to. I think once I start seeing that grass, I'll have an idea what I want to do everywhere else. So gotta be careful. I don't want too much. through to the water area here and the blues. This just won't do anything. Ugh. Back over here. So I want texture. I want texture. I want these to have that hint that, like I said, that these rocks have similar traits to these up here or something. So they feel like they're the same place, you know? I've said many times, I don't know the history of this bridge at all. So I don't know if they were imported or they were from here. But I want it to feel, at the very least, that it could have been. So we're going to mix a little of that green, get that nasty kind of funk color we had up. Pop open, you bastard. Wish I could dry that. There's that big sucker here. Tap it up with that. A little more ultramarine. Cool violet. Getting a lot of glare on that angle. Like, I think it's just this thing right here. Like I have to constantly move around. This is where I usually am running. Like I said, I like to move around. What? What did I say? Was it the around? What do you think triggered it? I'm trying to figure out what does it. I can't wait till they're actually intelligent and they start fighting with us. I regularly like asking to think if it's high because it's, oh no, not me. That's what it says. In an extremely paranoid way, which is exactly what someone who's high would say. Like, give it a try. Ask your Echo. I don't know what the Google one does, the Google Home or whatever, but the Echo will. Oh no, not me. I have a tap, an Amazon tap as my alarm clock upstairs. And it's across the room and everything, but it starts going off. And for a while, I had Alec Baldwin telling me to, wake up, sweetheart. It's like I did it once just to piss my wife off, and I couldn't get it to change back for a while. I forgot how I'd done it, and one day it goes off, and I always yell, Alexa, snooze, and it must not have heard me very clearly. If you think I mumble when I'm here tired, just hear me in the morning. And so it starts, okay, news, and it starts going through all this other stuff, and I said, Alexa, oh, all right, that's my fault. I said, Alexa, stop, and it did something else. I think it took the stocks. or something like that. So it starts telling me the stock report, and it's just start screaming at the thing, and I was like, Alexa, are you high? And, oh no, not me. So now I do it like regularly to it. It's a shame because it's bleeding in my earbuds, so you guys won't hear it. I yell it, but it's fun. Try it with your own. Yeah. All right, it's 9 o'clock. That's kitty bedtime. All right. All right. I keep doing this, I'll end up working all the way through it. Clean those off. All right. I'll take a drink. No beer tonight. All right. So let me put this in here. I gotta lock the door because the window's been open. missing? Anybody paint anything? No, it's still my shit. Oh, great. Alright. Alexa, resume. There we go. Alright, let's see. How do I want to do it? How do I want to do it? Anybody got any ideas? Oh, I'm almost missed that. I'm glad I looked at this again. It's tendonitis day. Alright, let's see. Now, I didn't notice this when I looked at it the first time. There's just it's a handful of these stones on this side that are kind of like just sort of back here, you know, in a trail along this way. Now, we'll be covering a lot of this bit right here up. I just want to make sure I have it kind of mapped out. There's a little bit here. Do you love me? Do you love me forever? Just a few of these random spots. And it's more like I said, it's here for when the streaks of this stuff just get kind of passed over. Alright. Oh, and actually, you know what? There's some more down here, too. I've been kind of scrapping off. Like, I gotta be honest, I don't know what anybody's feelings regarding Meatloaf, the singer, not the food. I don't care about your opinions of the food, but regarding their opinions of the singer, maybe. I'm not a huge fan. I like a couple of his songs, but Paradise by the Dashboard Lights is fucking brilliant. And for someone like me, especially, like, not in regards to my wife, but to my ex-wife, my first marriage, there is this kind of simpatico moment with this, because you have the that whole yeah, I couldn't take it anymore. Good God, I was crazy. Yeah. My ex and I have divorced, but technically she's here till the end of time. You know, no matter what. And you know, I don't know. It's just one of those things where it's when my daughter, my oldest daughter, was when we found out she was on her way. Um, I was still a man who believed a lot in like fate and stuff like that. And I'd actually intended to split with my ex-wife at the end of senior year of high school. I was actually gonna try to like, um, I was probably going to end up trying to cheat on her with somebody because you have to understand she had cheated on me several times during our relationship, and so I had thought about, you know, different people that I might have had a chance with, and I was going to try to go for that. And like right before, right at graduation, basically, like, yeah, fuck you. And then found out my daughter was on the way, and I was like, okay, this is like the heavens or whatever saying that we're going to be together. Blah, blah. She's here for the rest of my life. And it's like once I got a little more freed of that archaic concept, it was like, yeah, we're not gonna work out here, and she had asked for a separation. It was like, yeah, then I think, the separation was kind of weird and kind of across the board. There were moments where I think she wanted to get back together, but it was like, no, on my end, it was just a flat. I turned it into Simon Cowell basically. I'm going to have to say, it's a no for me, whatever, something like that. But at the same point, there was this bit of, I am stuck with her. Better for worse. My daughter will get married at some point, and we'll probably be there. Having to be there together. Or she'll end up, she'll have a kid at some point or something, maybe. Then that's going to be, she's going to graduate college. We're going to have to interact then, it's little bits, but. But I'll say this: could be worse. I could not have my daughter. So there's that. Because if she didn't come along, I don't know what I'd be doing. To be quite honest with you, I didn't have intentions to go to college before she came. So it was only because of my daughter's birth that I actually even chose to go to the University of Arts. My intention was just to go paint and kind of live much more of a vagabond lifestyle. Which means I would have definitely left my area where I live. Which means I wouldn't have met my wife. Which means I wouldn't have my kids, my other two, And I mean, that third one's debatable. I'm just kidding. Just in case she sees this like 20 years from now. Just kidding, sweetheart. So it's like one of those. Is it fate? It's a terribly frightening concept to believe that I had, in some stretched out means and methods, to technically have to lay meeting my wife on the fact that my ex got pregnant when I was 18. It's kind of a weird thought. It is hot, and I don't want to put on that little portable air conditioner yet, because that sucker's loud, and it barely works. I'm going to hold off on that as much as I can, because unfortunately, when we do get to that point, it's going to be right here. It's going to be up our ass trying to keep me cool. I was looking at another grant, like I said earlier. I was actually looking at a few. And one was it seems to be for students to going to school type scenario. I mean, I may still try it. the hardest part is they say you have to have either an established artist sign off on you or a teacher. And most of my professors are dead or well retired, and I don't know where the hell they are. So that's not going to really pan out very well for me. Let's get to that grass. I said we were getting to the grass. Let's get to the grass, man. Admittedly, it's not grass. It's like small shrubberies. Is this thing getting worse again? Maybe I do that, it'll be better. Alright, we're gonna try that, see if that works out better. Alright, so now, as opposed to the background where we stuck with a very cobalt and magenta level of trees, I'm going to pull it more into a carmine red up here in the foreground. Yeah, we'll have some tosses of cobalt and a couple of, as well as some, was it like right around here? We need some of the burnt sienna, yellow ochre mixture. So we're going to throw some of that in there too. So we want to lay some base down for, the actual branches that are going through here. First things first, let's add some shady areas. For that, we're going to stick with that nice French ultramarine. Just so we get some... See, I think that's where I faltered when it came to this area down here. I went with a lot of individual brushstrokes to start, and then was working to try to fill them in with other stuff later on. And I really need to stick with the idea of putting down a base tone first as a whole, and then going back and adding that more vibrant textures. I think that's where I fucked up. I'm 95% sure that's where I fucked up. Like I was trying to put variations in before I had even a solid tone in. So, lesson learned, don't fuck up. It's, like Takeshi says at Takeshi's Castle, don't get eliminated. Or no, that's Captain Tennille says that, right? Never mind. Oh no, I guess, no, Takeshi says that too. It's at the end of the show, right? And everybody's like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Most extreme challenge? Nobody? Nothing? Nothing. Come on, electric skateboard. I see you here every night. Come on, say hello. Work with me. At least host me or something, dude. I don't know what you do. That's what I've seen when we look at your channel. That's weird. Now, on the other side of this, I don't think we're going to have too many dark areas. Not of this dark area. So what we're going to end up doing, I think, is we're going to flip it to almost like the other angle there. We're going to go... There's some Viridian dark areas, so we might work with that, I think. It's not too, you know... It's going to have a shadow. I mean, it will have stuff, but it's not going to be too super, super thick. And it's really just stuff where it shows through on a couple occasions. But, again, better to overdo it, in my opinion, than to underdo it. To underdo it? Whatever. Come on. Like I said in my way, if these are the jokes here, they don't get any better. We do still need to worry. I gotta make sure I make a mental note of that. We've not done the like moss and growth that is occurring on the bridge, so we're gonna have to go back into that too. I'm gonna tell some of these people. I like my posts when I tell them I'm going live, and then they'll come over, say hello. Alright, we have one more larger area like that. It's going to be right here. These right where the stones are starting to pop through, you know what I mean? They're going to be a little gap. So it's going to make that little area where we can give a little texture. I got you under my skin. I got you. Got him off tonight. My throat is sore. So deep in my heart that you're really a part of me. I've got you. Actually, you know what? I gotta go back over here a little bit. Never goes so well. Why should I try to resist when, baby, I know? Actually, in here, look at it. It's a good place to put some too, because I'm going to be getting that. Yeah, it's falling underneath the shadow of that bridge as well. Anything I'm missing? Can I get some orange? Just like a... It's going to mix it in there. It's going to make an ugly brown, and that's alright. Little cadmium orange. Wake up to reality. I almost pissed myself laughing earlier tonight. My cousin just actually liked the video of mine on Facebook that I posted. Basically, it's a... I don't know if they were nurses. Looked like they might have been nurses. But the one's M&M's got stuck in the vending machine, and the other nurse backs up to the side. Or coworker. I can't guarantee they were nurses. I thought they were wearing yeah, I was watching my phone. And only half watching it between stuff. And but it did make me laugh when she backs up and just rams the fucking thing like her shoulder. And what's hilarious about it is, if you think about it, she did it so perfectly. I mean, lined it up and just whoosh, and the M&Ms fell down. And it was so sudden, so fast, and so well done that you know she did it before. Like, you know for a fact that woman had done that many times before. It was fucking hilarious. It's in my ear. Don't you know, little fool, you never can win. I'm going to bring it up here, too, because it's going to get dark back there. In fact, now with that little orange on the brush, it's making it really dark. That's kind of cool. I like that. Alright, baby. So I got you under my skin. I'm telling you, this all makes sense when I do it. Alexa, skip. Fucking deflator mouse. Well, it's been pretty good so far tonight. I'm not really going nuts with that. What the fuck day is it? Today's the 3rd, right? Yeah. Tomorrow's Star Wars Day. That's right. And these I might actually start putting in the right, like, the angles are going to be going in. And if anybody's not aware, Free Comic Book Day is on Sunday or Saturday. It's on Sunday. Nobody show up at Comic Universe on Saturday. I'll buy everything. No. So find your local comic shops who are participating. I can't wait. I haven't been to my comic shop in a number of months now. There's some good sales going on, you know. At least most of the shops around here do. I don't know about where you guys live, but shops around here, Comic Universe, which is my old haunt. Frank's the guy I've been buying my comics from since I was. Oh God, when did my sister first take me there? 8? I might have been 8 years old when I first went to Comic Universe. We walked all the way from our house over on Clymer Lane, all the way up to Comic Universe in Folsom, which, again, I mean, to anybody that's not from this area, that doesn't mean dick, but for a very young kid, that's a hell of a walk. I think it's about 2 miles or so. And as I recall, if I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure I'm right about this. My sister didn't tell me what we were doing. She just basically made me start walking with her. And at the end of the day, what you gonna do is pray without hope. Well, you might as well be blind. Tomorrow comes a day too soon. Tomorrow comes a day too soon. So good. As I said, now if I have to start leaving these windows and doors open more often, it can get kind of noisy back here. In might not be as bad as I think it will be, because excuse me, my stomach's going nuts. Um, the reality of it is now that we have a nice smooth driveway back there, there's a very good chance that like it used to be noisy because people would drive their car through giant potholes that were actually in my part of the driveway. It's one of the reasons why we had to do this when they gave it to us as an offer of like, hey, if we get it all done at one time, we get nice and less than $1,000 each. And I was like, I didn't want to spend $1,000, but at the same point, I wasn't going to be the dude that has some of the worst potholes in this driveway and doesn't get it fixed. I mean, that's just being a bad neighbor. I don't want to be a bad neighbor. I prefer to be like a neighbor. I think most people here would agree. I fill that role. That little guy? I wouldn't worry about that little guy. But we need some, because I'm addicted to it. My artist medium. I go through this shit like nothing, man. It's fucking water. Hold it back. Alright, let's see what we got here. So we're gonna have a bunch of. There's actually a lot, like, of this stuff. Like, it's got a really twisted, like, patch of shit there. That's gonna be interesting. Because I could put a bunch of different branch colors in there and it'll all work out. I think I mentioned this before. I'd watched a Joy of Painting episode. I see my voice going. Anyway, that's why I look forward to almost to Friday, Saturdays when I don't stream. No offense. Just I talk all the time during my job and then talk all the time here. Trying to keep myself entertained at least. But in it he watered down, a brownie mixed up or whatever. It's not unlike ours with burnt sienna and yellow ochre or whatever. But he watered it down with turpentine, and before he started doing his thin line work. And I gotta disagree with that. I really do. I said it before. I'll say it again. Just use artist medium if you can. At least my opinion of it, because at least there's still weight to it. Like you put paint thinner on it or whatever, you put turpentine, and that's it. It's getting watered down. It's not really, it is getting badly thinned out. Like the medium will thin it out too, but there's still a little feeling to it. So that's why I can describe it, And it's a terrible way to describe it, I know that, but I hope it can be understood what I'm trying to say. Let me know the problem. Do all that you can. I'm actually going to try to lighten up a little bit here. Yeah, there we go. No saving. Devil's on its way. 13-month-old baby. Broke the looking glass. 7 years of bad luck. The good things in the past. When you believe in things that you don't understand and you suffer. Superstition ain't the way. No. Let's see, that's not working very well. Alright, so let's just put some of this in there. It's cutting it off. That's not what I wanted. I didn't want it to look like that. See, I think I need to, yeah. Where is it? Throw a little of that on there again. Just strip it across. Come on. Just getting to the end of the bottle. So basically what happens is it just runs out. Or it takes forever. It's like the Heinz ketchup, not Joey Lawrence. Who is it? Joey from Matt LeBlanc. That's who it was. I'm lost in my mind. I get lost in my mind. Mama once told me, you're already home where you feel love. Get lost in my mind. Get lost. This was another weird day in the Delaware County area, though. We woke up to the news of a train derailment over in Crumlin. And it wasn't so much that the train had derailed, which was the major issue. That's a big fucking problem, but it was the fact that it was carrying rocks. And the rocks spilled all over the tracks. It's like, how the hell's all that happening? Like, yeah. It was a very Delco-y thing. And if you're from this area, you know what I mean. That bricklane's coming, how's your engine running? Is that bridge getting built? Are your hands getting filled? Won't you tell me, my brother? 'Cause there are stars. Alright, so we'd made it up a little later Yellow Ochre last night. It didn't really do much for me I was trying to use it in here. What I'm doing is I'm going to throw in a little carmine. And then we're going to throw that up into this grassy area. Because really, I mean, these aren't really on stems. They're not, it's not like we're dealing with, like sticky, like as in sticks. We're dealing with more, loose brambling. I know there's a word that I'm not familiar with that would explain what I'm talking about. Yeah, but I guess like conjoined leaves or whatever, something like that. Conjoined twins. No. But it's a bunch of very small, leaves on just one line, kind of fall over. And like I said, I'm really just trying to get this part for the sheer fact of having places where it might leak through become visible. once we added all the little leaves. And it kind of comes out from a couple different areas. Yeah, it's more than one plant here. But they're like buddies to hang out, you know. I'll kick back here too. Actually, down back here, I want a little more yellow ochre in there. Because this is going to be more overseen structure of the plant. Summer 2-1. Looking from Seattle, onto the sea, earthquakes, tsunami. There's still no place I'd rather. Actually, I'm gonna add a little magenta in there too. Just towards that bottom area. Tsunami, there's still no place I'd rather be. Summer too long. Say what? Falling up Seattle, falling to the sea. Earthquake, tsunami, there's still no place I'd rather be. See, the trick is to not sing on key so YouTube won't block the video. I'm doing it on purpose. Just suck. People fluctuate in, they fluctuate out. Do the hokey pokey and turn themselves about. So I've asked this before, and there's nobody really here to answer, but is it like bad form to whore myself out on like another Twitch stream? Like if I'd be like, hey, come watch my stream when you're done with this, or something like that. I don't know, you know what I mean? I don't really know. it be like really bad form if I like I said, I start streaming my Rocket League play and then I switch everybody over one day? Just be like, I'm no longer playing Rocket League on here. I'm painting. Watch everybody drop off. Though, like I said, so far it hasn't really gotten me anybody. I'm sure they go looking to see if they're being streamed live, and then they're like, never mind. See this one? It's sticky. Might work. Yeah, that's not too bad. So what we want to do here, I think, is a lot of these. This area where we're going to be adding these leaves in. They'll mostly end up being yellow-green. Pretty bright. But we want to start getting them in there. Give them some life. Yeah. And like I said, I don't even need to hold tight. What the fuck? She'd rather not answer that. She goes off for no reason. Anyway. Won't tell me why. Now she derailed me entirely. I was gonna say I don't really need to follow. Even where these things we've laid down are entirely. I can resculpt this kind of once we get a little farther on. But I want to make sure, like I said, that they were there so that, these areas where it becomes visible through, at least have some elements. And look, it could get very tricky because a couple of spots here, this flows over the water, and I haven't really figured out what I'm doing there yet. Like I said, I'm still going to go back to that water because I'm not happy with it. So we may actually be taking this little tiny brush and trying to go in between dashes that are already in place and trying not to make them look like they're on top of other dashes. So this could get very interesting in like 3 days. I really would like to finish. It's not going to be on Monday, like I'd originally hoped. I'm pretty much guaranteed at that at this point. That's not going to be done by then. If I'd gotten something good out of this water and had it pissed away all that time, maybe it could have been, but I wasn't finding it. I'm still not 100% sure what I want out of it now. At this point, I'm talking to the YouTube crowd. Ain't nobody here. Ain't nobody got time for me. I know my friends are probably watching the Sixers game, so they once we get into this, closer into the body of this, we're actually going to lose some of this green, I think. Won't need to be as thickly applied. Did you hear that the melodies out there? Yeah, you already know. That's not on still, I'm just thinking about it in my head. Japanese flute right now. I am really worn down today, though. Jesus. It's funny. Yeah, last night I thought was going to be a complete shit show, and ended up being a pretty decent run. I owe a lot of that to Insano-san. Just giving me really good, stuff to talk about, and kind of kept me mentally here, but also distracting me from all the shit that had been going wrong earlier in the day. So that made it really nice. Now today it's like I thought it was going to be all right. Now I'm just so drained. I know I should have had a coffee when I got home. Thought about that too. Just to give me a little perk. I'm disappointed. My wife told me she was going to get me some Earl Grey tea, and she never bought it for me. Went shopping this past weekend. Earl Grey. That's bothersome. Why you do that to me? A few of those go up here. Just we got more of it back here. We need more green. But see, it's okay. We're gonna pick up some of these browns and these reds, and pick that up. No, that's nice. Again, that variety I'm always talking about. That shit that I want everywhere. I figure when we get to the moss and stuff over here, what we'll do is we'll end up probably using, like, again, that kind of oxide of chrome or some mixture therein, somewhere in that family. Maybe put a little bit with the Viridian. I actually like the way that comes out a lot. That comes out really nicely sometimes. That might be the way to go. Like, both colors want to give into the other, so they just kind of makes a rich green. Maybe that's what we'll go with. We'll give it a shot, maybe. I think that'll work. I could just put a couple on these branches out here. These ones are not barren; they're just there. You know, they got something there. They're not great. They got a little something, something. Tell you, I sure as hell wish I was working from home tomorrow. That'd be very nice again. I lost that privilege because they put me on write-up. Because in my notes, in places where the customers would not be able to see, I might have called them fuckheads or assholes or whatever. And I got in trouble for that, surprisingly. In my defense, I was kind of encouraged to do it by my psychiatrist, or psychologist, not my psychiatrist. My therapist had told me, it's like, customers can't see it? So, no, nobody can. If the person's not looking, like if someone, one of my fellow employees, unless they're really looking in my case and trying to find that, I really wouldn't see it either. He goes, well, just do it. He says, if it helps you blow off steam, then you know what? He goes, just do it. It's like, this place took so much from you. If you think you can get away with it, just go ahead. Yeah. Can I get a cold beverage? I need some leverage. If I get some, it would be nice. You know, I buy a girl drink, but girls got to pay. It's my iced tea. Tasty tea, then come along with me. Summertime is cool, baby. It's my teeny time. Yeah, feeling bold. In that area, I think there's actually yellow oakery like trees here, so we're gonna end up using those. Like this orange area's got a lot of yellow, like and browns and stuff. I think that's what we're gonna try to play with there. Give me a frosty mug filled with A and W. If you got ice cream to make it, don't scoop it from the tap. Real good sound, chocolate egg. No, just in my ride. Walk to the right, they got beverages. I wonder how many people from outside the area have listened to G Love. He sings that Wawa's to the right, they got beverage inside. Wonder what the fuck he's talking about. I mean, now Wawa's gotten a little bigger in the U.S., but I have to imagine there's plenty of people that have heard him like overseas, have no idea what he's talking about. And their lives are lesser for it. They don't know what Wawa is. You know. And seeing us on last night, you know, like he doesn't know what a Wawa is. His life is saddened by that. He doesn't know it, but it is. Yeah, a guy I like to watch on Play Rocket League with John Sandman. He doesn't know what a Wawa is. I'm sure of that. His life is sadder for it. Unless he's familiar with Johnny Knoxville's tattoo of it. Like, I'm not a fan of the Jackass crew, but the Preston and Steve, the radio show around here, are very familiar with them. And they, like with the Bam Margera and stuff. And so Bam was telling stories about how Johnny first came to experience Wawa, you know, once they first started hanging out kind of thing. And he fell in love with it, so he got a tattoo of it. The Wawa logo. And we could probably debate all day about how that's probably a terrible idea to get the Wawa logo on your body, but it's a tattoo, but hey man, his body, his rules. It would be a lot better if we all kind of understood that about each other. See, I'm not a tattoo person. I don't think I'll ever get one. If I did, it'd probably be something that I would assume would be like kind of idiot proof. Because like if I like something like a Batman logo or something, that it's going to be pretty hard for the tattoo artist to fuck up, and so I'll be okay with it. I'd be happy with it. I wouldn't do like portraits or anything of people because I'd be pissed off, I'm sure, very quickly by it. And if I were to do stuff like that, I'd want either my artwork or my buddy Davin's artwork on me. And the two of us are such perfectionists about what we expect our stuff to look like that we'd just be constantly having tattoo updates like the whole time. Yeah, like literally I'd get a tattoo, you know, let's say something Davin did, and he'd be sending me back to the tattoo shop to get it reworked constantly. So I could never afford to get another tattoo because we'd just be constantly getting that other one updated. I did see a few years ago, back when Blackest Night was coming out for DC Comics, somebody did like the whole all the Lantern Corps going down their back, which was cool. I wouldn't do that one. That'd be a little much. Cause literally right down their spine. I have to imagine that hurts a lot. And I'm allergic to pain. It hurts me. So I but something along those lines would be cool. Maybe like where the one time Batman got the Green Lantern ring and he got the like that logo with the Green Lantern symbol inside. I thought that was pretty cool. Maybe that. But there's other stuff to spend money on. A tattoo is money not spent on paints. That's the way I look at it. So. To see for certain what I thought I knew, far, far away, someone was weeping, but the world was sleeping. Any dream will do. I wore my coat with golden lining, bright colors shining, wonderful and new. And in the east, the dawn was breaking, and the world was waking. Any dream will do. Flash of drums, a flash of light, my golden coat flew out of sight. Colors faded into darkness, I was left alone. May I return to the beginning, the light is dimming, and the dream is too. The world and I, we are still waiting, still hesitating. Any dream will do. Alright. Any dream will do. So I think it's working alright. That's May I return to the beginning. The light is dimming, and the dream is too. The world and I, we are still waiting, still hesitating. Any dream will do. Any dream will do. Any dream will do. Any dream will do. it's getting hotter. Maybe the holidays. It wasn't any cooler, hotter. Alright, so we're going to need some of this again. Can't be in the same spot because we got mixtures over there. This can be, though. Down here. Mein Gott. My God, what suffering. I believe that's what it says. I really don't speak German much. It was one class I never picked up really quite as much as I should have, I guess. I don't speak any languages very well, but I can bullshit my way through a few of them. Yeah, if they're romantic, usually I can fake my way through it, but... That's not doing what I wanted it to do, and that's making me unhappy. When I get unhappy, I get stabby. It's okay, I guess, because you know what? There's going to be another layer, too. This yellow screen, but then we're going to hit it with cadmiums. Cadmium yellows. Maybe a couple from that family, I think. I gotta try to get some more followers here. See, the past few nights I've been doing good. I got a new follower like every other night, but... And I know probably some people are like, alright, you're still fucking fiddling around with this thing. We want to see it finished. And I'm with you. I want to see it finished, too. Sorry, I'm just... It's been a really, very slow one. I don't know why. Just not... I don't want to say I'm not feeling it. That's not the right term. Just not feeling fast. It's nothing to do with my pain. It's nothing to do with the painting. It's me. At least I'm done past those fucking bricks. I thought I was going to have another mental breakdown because of those fucking things. They just weren't moving. Sucks. There's a it's kind of dilapidated building out near Westchester. I wanted to go out to this weekend, but I wanted to, you know, get some photos of it and figure out if I can do a painting off of it because I passed it. My father and I were going out to Westchester to drop off a painting or pick up a painting? I can't remember. Now that I think about it. I think we were picking it up. So I think it was when I had the flow. I had just gotten over the flow. Yeah. Or actually, I may not have been diagnosed with it yet. But I had to pick it up that weekend. So, but I couldn't drive because I was like hacking my lungs out. Like literally, like every time I took a breath, it was like. So it was like. And we passed by this dilapidated building, though. It was like. Took me out of myself for a few seconds. Like it was just like, well, that's really pretty looking. But I wanted it with, like it's in an area that it will be covered with a lot of green soon. It's probably loaded right now. And I really wanted to get to it. I was hoping I could do it this weekend, but they're talking about rain, and then more rain, and the weather should be nice. But that probably means we're painting my son's room. My son's room's going to look like the inside of a 70s McDonald's. But my son seriously picked out like a really bright red. And then he picked out a bright yellow. And now the way his room has always been, my son's always been a big fan of yellow. Okay. So when we first moved into this house, we painted his room. It has like a wood paneling on like the halfway point down, right? And then it's just normal drywall above that. And so we painted that like wood paneling area. And like it's not. I don't know how else to explain. Like it wasn't really wood paneling. It was already painted. Let's put it that way. Before it had been painted white, but it's not like stuff that we'd feel bad about painting. And so we painted it yellow, like a very pale yellow. And he's had it that way for years, and he wanted to get something new. And of course, he picks it. He wants that part red and the above part yellow. So I'm like, okay, great, thanks. You did like the exact hardest way to do this. But he's been jealous since his little sister had taken over what used to be my oldest daughter's room, and she made that fucker pink and purple like you would not believe. And it made me laugh because my oldest daughter, now when we moved into a townhouse that we were renting a while back in Malvern, she had done almost the exact same blinding color choice. And I'm not being facetious there. My youngest had picked like hot pink and like Barbie pink, and there was a third pink that she had done, I think, if I remember correctly. But her room used to literally reflect the sunlight coming in the morning, like into the hallway. So I was always yelling at her as we were heading to school or something. Turn off the goddamn light, and she's like, "It's off," and it was just the sun pouring in, and it was bad. It was really bad. I mean, seriously, if the moon went in there wrong, the moonlight, it would be enough to. Probably laughing you. My dividends would be so baby. Even Dow Jones would find it it's true. Won't believe it's true. That's right. Loving kind. It's a squeezing kind. It's the squeezing kind. What time is it? I know it's getting there. I could feel it in my bones. It's almost 10:30, right? This would be so much better if I could just not go to work. Just do this for like 8 hours a day. I'd be so much happier. Probably finish this painting in one sitting. Bum, bum, bum. Where is the ritual? And tell me where is the taste? Where is the sacrifice? And tell me where is the faith? Yeah, try to get my buddy Bill in here someday. Maybe one day even as a actual, subject that I sit here and pose for me. He did it once in college. It's been a long time. It was post-college. I remember when I did his portrait. It was bad, though. It's pretty terrible. I'll throw my drugs away when I find a cure for pain. Where is the cave where the wise women went? Well, tell me where's all that money that I spent? Oh, I propose a toast to my self-control. You see him crawling helpless on the floor. Well, someday there'll be a cure for pain. That's the day I throw my drugs away when they find a cure for pain. Find a cure for pain. They find a cure for pain. I think I said it on here before. Morphine is a band I wish I'd gotten into sooner. I got into them right before their lead singer Mark died. It's like, really? Like literally, it's right before the album The Night came out. I think I've said that before, but it's still true. This is still about it, dogs. Dog that chases his tail will be busy. Clapping dogs, rhythmic dogs, harmonic dogs, house dogs, will unite. The dogs, atomic dog, atomic dog. Out there on the street, lovely Nothing but a dog in me. Wow wow yippee yo yippee yay. Bow wow yippee yo yippee yay. Bow wow wow yippee yo yippee yay. Bow wow yippee yo yippee yay. Street. Nothing but a dog in me. Must I feel like that? Why must I chase the cat? He's talking about vaginas. Shh. Nothing but a dog in me. Must I feel like that? Why must I chase the cat? Nothing but a dog in me. Why must I feel like that? Why must I chase the cat? Nothing but a dog in me. Why must I feel like that? Why must I chase the cat? Nothing but a dog in me. Why must I feel like that? Why must I chase the cat? Nothing but a dog. But a dog in me. UUBA. Atomic dog. I was thinking today about how easy this would have been if I actually just if my office had not moved yet, you know, or if the office building had moved. Like when I worked for Quest Diagnostics, our office literally moved across the street. The contract went up on the one building, so they just moved us across the street to another building. That actually is much nicer. I did actually like that new building. I was pissed off though because I had this. My desk was like in this perfect spot with the ability to look out the window. I was very happy, but the person that sat like next cube over didn't like the way it glared off their monitor, so they kept closing the shades. I was like, oh, I got this great view. I can look outside. I can imagine I can paint again. Because at the time I was working some jobs, couldn't paint. So it's like, but it was a very nice building. But if we had done something like that, where we literally moved across the street, I could have still gone to this bridge, you know. Instead, we moved to a building that we can't have heat in. We're still trying to figure out why we're not allowed to have individual trash cans in our side of the building, but when the other building, like right on the other side of the pathway, people that supposedly be living by the same rules we do all have trash cans, all underneath their desks. I just gonna put a few dashes of this Verdian back in there, just to give it some variety and again in these deeper areas. Separate these leaves a little bit. Learned by doing twice. Took me, come to haunt me. Still in what they say. Someone learned to dance with my hand in my pants, and I rub my neck and I write them a check, and they go their merry way. Ooh. I am the entertainer around the world. I've played all kinds of palaces. I've laid all kinds of girls. Can't remember faces. Don't remember names. Oh, what the hell? You know it's just as well, 'cause after a while and 1,000 miles. Come on, this cadmium's not picking up at all. That's not good. I might have to let it sit for a night. Yeah, just in a day or two, but I can't stay that long. I got to meet expenses. Got to get in line. You heard my latest record. It's been on the radio. For the best years of my life. It's gonna be so weird for me this year not seeing Billy Joel in concert, since I work at the Phillies. He is confirmed to be there this year, right? I think so. I thought about buying a ticket because I was like, hey, now I can actually just sit and watch it. But knowing my luck, like knowing how I am, I'd go there to just enjoy the show, quote unquote, and then I'd end up like half working because I'd sit there and watch fans that are misbehaving, and I'd start like reporting and shit. Just because that's just my habit in the ballpark now. I can't go to any ballpark now and not watch how the fans behave, and then how the hosts and stuff do it, how they react. I can't do it. My family went out to Chicago a few years ago. Yeah, we stopped. And we toured Wrigley, but Wrigley, they were doing their crosstown series at the time, and since the Cubs were good, ended up actually winning the World Series that year. It was impossible to get tickets, so we were able to get the crosstown series over in the White Sox stadium. And I'm gonna turn this off because it's almost done. Alexa, stop. Ears are bothering me. Anyway, no, we were so we go to the White Sox Stadium, U.S. Cellular, and the whole time I'm there, I was, I'm watching the fans almost as much as I'm watching the game. It's like, God, I have a problem. And the same thing happened when we went to on our way back. We stopped in Cleveland, saw an Indians game, and same thing. I'm watching, how everybody else acts. Just that's how my life's been for a while. I watch how people behave. My dad and I went out to Pittsburgh a few years ago, back when the Phillies were still good, and we, I think I mentioned this story before. We were staying in the same hotel that the players were and everything, and then we go to the game, and this one dude was just being a jackass, and because the Pirates started going under, and the Phillies fans were cheering, and at that time, it was very easy to get Pirates seats because they sucked and the Phillies were good, so Phillies fans would go drive across the state to go see them. And this dude took a great deal of offense to that, and he was extremely obscene and obnoxious to all of us in our section, even though half the people in my section at the time were Pirates fans too. Because my dad had bought them on the third base side, thinking it's like Citizens Bank Park, where third base is visiting team. So we were not in our home element. And, this guy's freaking out. And I kept looking up to see the host, and the host is just sort of sitting there. I was like, dude, his ass would have been fired already from the Phillies. Like, you can't pull that shit when there's literally a guy standing up screaming at people behind him. Yeah. I think he eventually got reported by one of the actual Pittsburgh fans that were there, the other people we were talking to. Because the rest of the people around us were actually pretty cool. They were pretty chilled. I won them over because I just finished a commission for a portrait of this guy who was a big Steelers fan, and they wanted to be like a superhero Steelers fan, like super grandpa, whatever, something like that. So I had shown them that because I had just done the skyline, pretty much from the exact same angle that I was sitting at. So I was showing the people there, and I was telling them, look, I love your city skyline, and I do. I like Pittsburgh skyline a lot. I have some issues with some of the people, especially if they're Penguins fans. Fuck them. I think we can all agree. All right. But fuck Cindy Crybaby. Anyway, where was I? So, like I said, it's just one of those things I can't go to stadiums anymore like that and not go into Phillies host mode. It's kind of sad. Like if I go back to say US Cellular. Now where we were was actually it was. I was shocked. I honestly thought it was going to be because I heard stories about the Cubs Sox rivalry being really really bad, and we were in a really big mixture of both, and then we had no problems at all. But I can tell you that the host did not arrive into our section until the third period. Jesus Christ, still in hockey mode. Third inning, and so it was very it could have gotten really bad very quickly because there's nobody there, and I think I worry about stuff like that. Now that's not that host may have been like at the Phillies, especially now that we're we don't sell out as much as we used to. The staff's reduced, so sometimes a host might have to go and do tickets before they go to their sections. They might do tickets, then go on break or go relieve somebody first, and then they come to their section. So that may have been what happened with this girl. And, Crosstown Series selling out, but maybe that's their most recent sellout, and they're not going to do it again for the rest of the year or something. Or some other team that's hot comes in that they, it's hard to get tickets in their own home stadium, so they'll come down to US Cellular. I'll give Chicago credit for their transit system, though, dealing with the. It's packed. I won't get that. But the fact that the two trains just run perfectly in line with each other, so Sox fans come over and go see the Cubs or whatever, and crosstown, it's very easy. It just took like an hour to get on the train when we were coming home back to our hotel. I had to kind of like hover over my kids like I was standing there, and like literally like my son's like right here, my daughter's right here, like just squeezed into the train seats, and that was a big game for my son because my son's a Sox fan. He was his T-ball team, I think, right? Was his T-ball? I think it was his first T-ball team was the White Sox, and so he's always wanted to see them play. And so we got to see them. I'm just actually a little upset because I had actually met Ed Farmer, who's one of the broadcasters for them. I'd done the press elevator at the Phillies, and he was there, and I'd just been out to Chicago for a business trip. And so I was telling him about it. I was like, I was just out in your guys' city. You guys were out of town, but I said, I got to see Wrigley, and he was like, that was cool, and I really enjoyed your city. And he was like, everyone should see that fucking museum once. He goes, next time you come to Chicago, you call me, and I'll show you a real stadium. But I never got his number. I'm going to call him. That sucks. All right. I got an idea what I want to do down here. I won't be able to get in here tomorrow. this stays wet through Saturday, Sunday. Hopefully it stays wet. And hopefully I can figure this mess out. I really do want to figure something solid. And I had the feeling it's going to be just basically a lot more cerulean and variations of cerulean, maybe mixed right on top of all this and just thrown in here until it balances itself. But that'll be it. So we're going to click that stop button. I enjoyed nobody being here and talking to me. It's very sad. If you see it on YouTube, like, comment, and subscribe.